Artist Ashley Longshore is on quite a roll lately. The New York Times dubbed her fashion's latest art darling. A fashion editor called Longshore the Pied Piper of hope and fun. Well, Jamie Wax has been spending a bit of time with her to find out what's behind all the buzz. Jamie, good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. She is as bold as the art she makes. Longshore is a soundbite machine who, by her own admission, can sometimes use the salty language of a longshoreman. She's always turning heads by doing things her own way.
At the Palette Cafe inside Bergdorf Goodman, the department store catering to New York's elite, high culture meets pop art.
You are having tea in my brain right now.
That's what it feels like.
And the beauty level of Bergdorf Goodman. I never wanted to lose this playfulness. If I had a tail, it'd be wagging right now like a little Jack Russell.
40 blocks downtown, Ashley Longshore's takeover of New York continues.
How did you choose these 37 women?
Well, Diane sent me a list.
At Diane von Furstenberg's flagship store.
Malala and Jackie O and Oprah and Michelle Obama.
I think the fact that Barbie is next to Mother Teresa with butterflies is Ashley Longshore.
It's pretty awesome.
This one of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg caught the eye of another feminist icon, Gloria Steinem.
She's like, wow, this is amazing. I have to text this to Ruth. I'm like, okay, all right. Gloria Steinem is texting RBG right now, a picture of my painting.
It's been a triumphant return to New York for the brash princess of paint. But her first bite at the Big Apple was anything but fairy tale.
15 years ago, I cried myself to sleep at the Bowery Hotel. I was crying so loud that a security guard came up to see if I was okay because I'd had an art show and nobody bought anything, and I'd spent all my money coming up here, and I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna pay my rent? But you know, I wanna talk about that. This is about the journey that it took me to get here.
Back at her New Orleans studio, Longshore revealed a fuller portrait of herself.
Instant gratification will only get you high, pregnant, or drunk. Everything else is gonna take a minute, you know?
When you think about Sarah Ashley Longshore in Montgomery, Alabama, tell me about her.
I was always very precocious. One might say I was wild, very energetic, rebellious. I've retired 3 teachers, you know, but my 5th grade teacher, Ms. Boswell, sent me a message the other day and was like, oh my God, I watched you on Seth Meyers. All that hair, you remind me of when you were a little girl. I think this was part of my rebellious spirit that I just didn't want to go to a Southern university and be in another sorority.
She left Ole Miss after 6 weeks for Big Sky Country. In Montana, she taught herself to paint by copying Picasso.
And I picked up that brush one day, which my mother never thought I would sit still enough to actually be a painter. I found this meditative calm that just brought me a joy that I cannot describe to you. And I knew when I found that, whether or not I was able to figure out how to sell these things, man, I found something that brought me so much joy.
Over the years, she developed a deeply personal style.
So it's bedazzled Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, Baberham.
Baberham Lincoln.
Baberlicious. All right, pull me some lilacs.
But all Longshore's glitter couldn't get her in the door of the galleries. So she just brushed them aside.
And I remember sitting there being like, how do I do Facebook? But it was free, you know, and I didn't have any money. So I'm like, I got to figure this out. This would be a great tool. I think there was a day where you did need a gallery when you couldn't have all these tools. Someone that was curating and finding the art collectors. I mean, it is one way to do it. And I don't want to say my way is better than their way because there's a lot of different ways to pluck a chicken. Are there? I don't know. This is just my way.
She's leveraged the reach of social media to promote her work with videos like this one last month, just as she had done the day before we spoke to her in May.
Well, the link went out at 7:15 in the morning, and when I woke up at 7:48, they were completely sold out. And all the product, I had hate mail. I had hate mail.
How much does that represent as gross sales?
Well, yesterday we did like 1.3 million. Is that what you mean?
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Longshore says she's selling her version of the American dream, which you can buy online or in person at her studio in the Big Easy. Longshore says she likes knowing who her clients are. They range from celebrities to everyday walk-ins.
We've looked at it so many times. We saw it in New York. We saw it here. We're definitely in. Oh.
Her paintings, which can cost tens of thousands of dollars, often come with pearls of wisdom.
Is there one that you feel like really captures you? Like, that's me in a nutshell.
I love work hard, eat carbs, spend money. I do not cook, I do not clean, I do not fly commercial. You know, I was on 7 Delta flights last week, by the way. I cleaned up a huge mess in my kitchen this morning. And
it's aspirational.
Yes, and I made some avo toast. So I do cook, I do clean, I do fly commercial. But I think, you know, these mantras, these things, words are powerful, you know? And it's funny, and it's fun.
Her work, which combines art and commerce, has frequently been compared to the legendary pop artist Andy Warhol, a comparison Longshore finds humbling.
I always say I want to have a career like Andy Warhol and I want to have a legacy like Peggy Guggenheim.
In fact, Longshore says the plan is to start a foundation to bring Ashley World, as she calls it, to everyone.
I want to have a massive building full of all of this art. I want the public to be able to enjoy it. I want to give scholarships to kids that are interested in the arts. This isn't all about $1.3 million or 2 commas in the bank. This is about so much bigger than that. It's a feeling, you know? It's a feeling of the American dream.
Man, is she fun. Longshore credits her father Spencer for her incredible work ethic, which is on full display this year with a coffee table book coming out in October, a newly announced global cosmetics collaboration with Maybelline launching during New York Fashion Week, and the second extension of that exhibit at Diane von Furstenberg, keeping that show open to the public through the end of the year. A lot going on.
She is a girl after my own heart. I mean, look at me. I would blend right in with her.
Yes,
Love
yes,
her.
You belong in Ashley World.
Yes,
Sure.
go Ash.
Absolutely love her. I'm fat, hungry, and mad as hell. I want that one. That's the one I want.
Yeah, it is so fun just to walk around her gallery and look at the sayings that she's come up with on those walls.
And offers this art to so many people the
Yeah.
way she does it without needing to have that broker there.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a game changer. It really is.
It calls New Orleans home.
Ashley World. Michelle and
That's
Ashley.
Oh, I like it.